Today we're going to be painting up a bait. We're going to paint it in a pike color so we can go down to Spinney Mountain Reservoir and throw a little baby pike imitation and see if we can get the bigger ones to bite. This is a great way to paint up lures that are more expensive than you want to spend at the store, or it's a great way to create a pattern that you don't see in the store that you know consistently will work, or you've seen other people maybe have but you can't find it in the store yourself. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cover it completely white, and then after that we'll start painting to the pike color. So I'm going to paint it white real quick and then we'll snap to when we really start getting into the colors. Alright, so we have the white color on now. A couple things I want to mention really quick. So first of all, white is a great base coat, but you want to go as light as possible on your colors, because as soon as you weigh it down too much with paint, the bait will not suspend correctly, especially some of these cheap knockoff baits. So go light on your base coats and the rest of your paint as well if you can. The other thing to mention is that every layer that we do, we're going to heat set with either a hairdryer or a heat gun. Hairdryer will work just fine. You want to set it on kind of a low setting from a kind of an air standpoint, but higher on the heat. And then after we're done heat setting it, you can apply another coat within even just a few seconds. We have done white. Now we're going to do the belly portion, which on a pike is white, but we're going to be using a pearlized white and try to give it a little bit of iridescence there. So that's the next step. And what I'm going to do is just kind of cover the belly here with a little bit of an iridescent color. Go a little bit over the sides, but mostly just on the belly. That's it. The next step is going to be to actually add a pearl lime color. This is just going to add kind of that green tint that you see to the fish. It's green brownish, but we're going to add this as the undercoat, and then we're going to add brown on top of it in order to really fill it in and make it a little bit darker. So we're going to start with this pearl lime. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so what we're going to do with the bait here is just basically have its back showing. We're going to take this pearl lime color and again just kind of overspray, make sure we get the color coming through, and just real lightly go right down the back. Not getting a clean spray, here we go. Just like that. And we just kind of want to overlap a little bit on each side. Gonna look a little yellow. After we get that done, I'm gonna kind of turn it, and then we're gonna spray just about to the mid-lateral line. Just like that. So the next step here is actually gonna be to add the brown to the fish. This is really gonna help kind of darken up that green-yellow kind of pearl color and really bring out the true color of the fish. So this is called Detail Burnt Orange. Another Creatix color. This is their Wicked line. Really good color, and I've reduced it a little bit so that it's not so thick. And we're gonna do kind of the same thing we just did, except we're not gonna go as far down the fish. Now, the other thing to keep in mind on this is that you are really gonna want a regulator so you can control the air pressure as you're spraying on some of these more detailed colors. So I'm gonna actually take mine down to about 20 PSI. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna just take this down the back of the fish. Just darken it up just a hair. Alright, so this next step is where the colors really just start to take shape. We're going to add a little bit of a dark green. It's an opaque dark green. It's called bright green, but what we've done is we've taken actually part of that burnt orange that we just sprayed, just one little drop of that, and mixed it up so it's a little bit darker. Now, what's important about this step is that you go very, very lightly with this green. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of off the bait pretty far back, just giving it a little bit of color. Going right up the top here. Spray the head a little bit, give it into the body a little bit, just like that. Go down the back here, do the same thing. Back you can be a little bit heavier with, but you don't want to be too heavy. So what I'm going to do is just draw the dots basically on this pike. So the dots are they're more like lines. Just try to vary the position of them. You don't have to get this part perfect. It's probably as far as I'll go. And just do the other side. So now we're going to add dark green, same green we've been using, but now we've added black. So we've added a little bit of black in there. What we're gonna do is just kind of touch up the top here. We're gonna do just a little bit of the side, and then we're gonna do part of the head as well. Again, low PSI. Just gonna start at the head, make sure we're getting some good color out of it. And we just barely wanna touch some of those top dots. So you can see that they're just a little bit green, maybe you can't see it. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the back. We're gonna do the same thing to this side here. Not a ton, just enough to show some color on those top dots. All right, so the last part of the bait here is just gonna be painting it black on the back. Just right along the back here, lightly. Should be enough. All right guys, so for the last step we're using DevCon 2-ton epoxy. This is just stuff you can buy at the store, about $5 in the tube. We've just mixed it up here on the table, and we're gonna take a paintbrush and we're just gonna apply it in a very thin layer to the bait. All right, and then the final touches here is just gonna be adding a couple eyes to either side of the bait. This is kind of the final piece that really adds the realism. I like to put it on the tip of the brush that I just used for the epoxy, and then just kind of help it find its hole there. Once it's in there, you'll have a pretty real looking bait. Well guys, here's the finished product. I think overall it turned out really good. Hopefully this pike lure will work down at Spinney to catch some of the big fish. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you'd like to see me paint any other patterns with an airbrush, leave those in the comments as well, and I'll try to include those in future videos. Thanks for watching CO Fish Pro today. You can do me one favor before you leave and click this subscribe button right here, and then you can move on to this video right here. Welcome to CO Fish Pro, the channel. My name is Chris Edlin, and we aim to take the mystery out of fishing. Or that one over there. Yes. Slab.